So here's the Toshiba Chromebook 2. This is not a light Chromebook. Pretty substantial Chromebook. It has a, you would say, a grippy feel that you can hear. Definitely the bottom, plastic, kind of cheap feeling and everything. But the top feels okay. It just feels grippy. And it definitely looks good. But it's plastic. So it doesn't have that rich look to it, but it's not bad. You're not going to be ashamed being in no coffee shop with this. You have the Chrome logo right there prominent, and you have the Toshiba logo at the bottom. So it has some branding on it, but definitely not anything I don't mind. It does look good aesthetically. On feel, I'm not feeling it. It's just not my type. I don't like the color too much and stuff like that, but it's not bad. I can deal with it. Now, as you open it up, everything continues inside. You have that plastic feel. Now, this plastic feel on the inside, I would prefer better on the outside as well. I pretty much don't prefer this rough feeling on the outside. But other than that, the Chromebook, it does look good when you open it up. Not bad. You have a lot of space to work with. The screen is on point. Guys, I'm telling you right now, if you're just buying this because you like to watch, you know, a lot of YouTube, a lot of Netflix and stuff like that, I would say get it all day. All day. The screen is definitely on point. The viewing angles on this screen is incredible. It is a Chromebook that has some of the best viewing angles. Now, I adjusted the fonts so it's a little bit more larger, the fonts, and you can see the viewing angles. Viewing angles are definitely on point with this Chromebook. So for, you know, tech for the networkers, if you need to do a presentation and you need people on the side looking at a video or something about your product or service, on viewing angles, they can definitely see. The viewing angles are on point with this Chromebook. No distortion at all. So when it comes to the screen is on point. 1080p. This is one of the best screens on a Chromebook right now, aside from the Pixel. Now, what is inside of this? This is the Intel Celeron with 4 gigs of RAM. Now, a lot of people say, oh, you got a Celeron, should have got an i3. Listen, the Celerons is right behind the i3. I'm telling you. And I'm going to get a hold of some i3s and check them out. But the Celerons are rocking, man. The Intel Celerons are moving. They really done a good job with the Celeron processor. Now you're gonna get your 100 Google Drive storage that gonna help you out with your pictures and stuff like that. Let's talk about this keyboard. The keyboard is fine. Typing on it, doing what I gotta do, it's fine. But I really, up to this point, haven't found problem with much keyboards, but this one I do. It feels mushy. I hate to use that word mushy, but I don't think of anything else to describe it. From the first time I opened it up and I was putting in my code, that was the first word I used. Mushy. And it's like when you press down on one of the buttons, it doesn't feel like it's bouncing back up. It doesn't feel like a premium keyboard. So if you're a person that all you do is vlog, you know, all you do is typing all day, you may have a little bit of a problem typing on this keyboard. It may not feel up to par for you. The trackpad. Now, the trackpad, it feels good. First touch, absolutely first touch, it feels nice. It almost felt like a glass trackpad. But after using it for a second, what you realize, listen closely, you hear that, right? This is a lot of grip. This is a lot of texture. Like, so if a trackpad felt like this, I would like it as well. Hear this. So it has a little bit of a feel to it. And when you rub on a glass trackpad, you really don't hear nothing. But when something have a little bit of grip, you hear it. And I like it. I like the way it feels. You don't get that sticky finger feeling. You could, no matter what the situation is, you feel good on this trackpad. So I like that on this Toshiba Chromebook. But what I don't like on the trackpad is when you see, there's two ways to click on a Chromebook. You could just tap it. So if you just tap it, it feels fine. No issues at all. But when you press down, it has that same mushy feeling, and sometimes it doesn't really react. So if you're a person that you're looking to play games with this trackpad, you're probably going to buy a mouse to plug in. Why? Because the trackpad is just not as responsive, unless you're just tapping. When you're tapping it, it's very responsive. But when you're pressing down on it, that click, not a nice feel at all. Now, let's go around the device. You have USB 2, full SD card slot. This is where you plug in and charge. You have your 3.5 millimeter jack, USB 3, HDMI port, and you have your lock port right there. So all the ports are there. You probably would want another USB 3, but other than that, the ports are there. We're not using ports as we did before. So the camera, I think the camera's a little short of HD. I don't know. People said I look real clear. I look good on the other side. But the camera, for me, the camera's okay. The camera is a HD camera, but I'm not excited about it. But it's okay. As a matter of fact, sometimes when you're dealing with stuff that is so far above, you tend to go back a little bit. But it's not bad. So when it comes to talking, having a conversation on Hangouts and stuff like that, no issues at all. So the mic is picking you up pretty good. There's no slowdowns. There's no issues with the camera. So you'll survive with this camera, no problem. Battery life. So battery life on this Toshiba Chromebook it's advertised at 9 hours battery life. And if you keep the brightness, I would say, pretty dim. I would say up below half. And you're just scrolling the internet, maybe a video here and there and stuff like that. A couple of tabs open, not going crazy. Yeah, you could probably get the 9 hours. But with my usage, mixed uses, editing video, having a lot of tabs open and so forth. And I do keep my brightness. I don't keep my brightness on full blast. I keep my brightness about half. With my usage, about 7.5 to about 8 hours. So not quite the 9 hours, but if you go full blast, video after video after video, maybe you'll get 5 hours. Maybe depending on the brightness, but around 5 hours. So pretty much that's battery life. Battery life is up to par. That's very good for this Chromebook. So you don't have to worry about battery life. Battery life is up there. It runs, yo. The Celeron is enough. It really is enough. Depending on your speed, it's enough. Now let's take a listen to 50%, about 75. Sounds good. 100%. No distortion now. So pretty much with that, I'm going to tell you guys it's worth the pickup. Definitely. If you're looking for a Chromebook around the 250, 300 area, you won't go bad with this Toshiba, because the screen is definitely on point, and the speakers on this is a nice quality sound. You heard it for yourself, nice and crisp. It's definitely worth it. So performance, this is on point. Screen on point. I would give it on point for the camera. Keyboard mushy. Trackpad is good until you press down on it. Gets a little mushy. The build, I wish the build was more of this feeling inside than this feeling right here. I don't like it. I don't feel it. But other than that, for the price, excellent Chromebook. $270, even up to $300, I say this is a buy.